I'm Virginia Chagnon. I married my husband in '76, and I came to Windsor we lived in Windsor Locks, and we came here. My husband was born in Windsor, and I started a business called the Jenny's Great Cleaning Service. And I went to the Small Business Association in Hartford in 1978 and met Mr. Hooker, who had something to do with the Historical Society, and he said they needed someone to clean the Historical Society, which is smaller than it is now. And he was one of my first clients, and that lasted until 2000 something. So over 32 years, from 1978, and you can do the math. But I cleaned when I cleaned the society. This was the first time that anybody actually physically cleaned it. This was before they had just built up the Wilson building, and so they had just it was called the firehouse, but now it's called something else. But it was interesting, and I learned a lot about Windsor. I cleaning it for 32 years, and there's a courtyard there between the Wilson gallery and the firehouse, and I was going in and out, so I had to clean both. But cleaning the firehouse, which is not the firehouse, but is what I call the firehouse, and they have an attic way up on top of them, and I've been up there, and they have a lot of things that are not used. They're up there, and downstairs there, almost every room had a fireplace, because they didn't have central heating, of course, but they had almost everyone had a fireplace, and I washed the windows, I cleaned the wall. This was the first time that that anybody had cleaned the walls, and so I washed them down, and the floors I did that, and I learned a lot about Windsor, and my husband's family. Well, one of Bob's parents, one of Bob's parents has something to do with the beginning of Windsor. So but I did a lot of cleaning and.
I'm curious. Did you? Can you remember anything interesting you found up in the attic that maybe nobody's ever seen?
Well, they had up in the attic an apple peeler core, and I was very intrigued with that. Then I find out that they're making the apple core peeler in our time, but this was the first time that I heard of it, and they had it up there in the attic, and there isn't much that I remember, but it was very interesting, and Mr. Hooker was very nice, and I had a very good time for 32 years, and then I retired. So I think that.
Did you do most of the work by yourself, or did you have any help?
No. It was me. I did all of the work. And that's what I do. And I work for myself. And Any questions that you can think of?
No, that was wonderful. I never. That's a wonderful story. I never knew that. They probably could use you again. I'm sure. If they have somebody that comes in.
I'll be 80 in November.
You've heard it.
I worked since I was 78.
You've heard it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yes, thank
You're
you so
welcome.
much.
You're welcome.